Who's the hottest man around? Oh yeah, he's heating up. He's on fire.
Hey guys, Action coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Send some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Oh, I want to talk about an oldie, but an absolute goodie today. And it's a free legendary champion that everybody should be on your way towards getting or already have. He is a great reason to participate in Tag Team Arena. You know, your favorite place in the game, Tag Team Arena. I really wish they would revamp Tag Team Arena.
Oh, don't drag me into that.
I'm sure I'm like most of you guys that I go in there, I do my 5 battles for my faction war extra keys, and then I'm out. And half the time I forget to put a team in, like this week, right? So I can actually climb up and not lose my league or whatever. But man, they need to do something with Tag Team Arena. They really do, and they actually acknowledge that. I think they said, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I think they said it's crap.
All around me are familiar faces.
I think they said it's crap on our last phone call with them, so they even acknowledged they need to do something here. But the Bazaar has champion fragments for Drexthar Bloodtwin, who is now better than ever in the game. That's right, Drexthar Bloodtwin is now better than ever. That's the takeaway I want you all to have after today's video. I'm going to show you my favorite build for him and all the ways he can help you progress in Cintranos, in Doom Tower, in dungeons. This guy is a maniac. He's a machine. He's a monster. He's a solo beast.
Take it easy, champ.
So I would advise everybody goes for the champion fragments in your tag team arena, even if you already have him, if you already pulled him, because then you can just go ahead and empower him as well. Let me show you the builds really quickly before we get to all the areas that he can solo just in the rotation that I'm on right now, right? There's other obviously spots that he can solo that we will mention in today's video. Here he is, Drexthar Bloodtwin. I do have him empowered on my account, which is noteworthy here, so I will recommend a slight adjustment, maybe if he's dying in any content, depending on your account, where you're using him and what he can do, yada, yada, yada. So first of all, what does he do? Triple hitter with a chance of placing a burn for 2 turns on the A1, but also a heal based on 20% of the damage inflicted if the target's under burn. On the AoE, on the A2 is actually a pretty hard-hitting ability, which is really nice. He's a defense-based damage dealer. He's got a provoke at a 60% chance on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. And then he has a 100% chance if they're under a burn. Also a decreased attack for 2 turns if the provoke debuff is placed. I don't like all the conditionality in it, but it still is a really solid ability, no doubt about it. But the Fiery Blood passive is really what makes him so amazing, especially for soloing. Very unique here, too. Has a 75% chance when booked of placing an HP burn for 2 turns on the attacker when he's hit. Every time he's hit, there's no cooldown there. This champion's resistance increases by 10 for every enemy under HP burn. That can stack up to 50. We have Brimstone as a blessing in today's video, but I want to give you a very important additional consideration for a blessing on this champion, and it is, where is it? Emergency heal, right? Heals his champion whenever a shield placed on them expires or is removed. You can combine the blood shield accessory with the emergency heal. That's going to help you out tremendously in a lot of content. That doesn't just go for Drexthar Bloodtwin. It goes for any solo, like an Artak, for example. That's how I run him. Emergency heal plus a blood shield accessory. Masteries, we go down, we pick up Giant Slayer. I will say one thing about Giant Slayer. This is by far my favorite mastery configuration for this champion. You can absolutely go instead of defense, support for more accuracy, but in terms of going down as a tier 6, picking up Giant Slayer, I think it's the way to go. But there is a caveat, okay? Ice Golem hard, specifically. Ice Golem hard. If you do too much damage with this Giant Slayer, which is nice, by the way, he can heal off the Giant Slayer procs on his A1, right? But if you do too much damage, especially in IG, it can be moved so he'll counterattack and wipe out a Drexthar. Just be careful of that. If you're running into that difficulty, just go ahead and switch Giant Slayer out and go with Unshakable or with Pinpoint, or Eagle Eye, excuse me, and Pinpoint Accuracy and all the accuracy masteries. You know your account and your situation better than certainly I do. So we put him in defensive gear. Now he's a defensive based champion. We don't have crit rate built on him. It's not necessary. He can deal some more damage, but most of it's coming from the burns in the way that we're using him in today's video, right? So I went defense here, but you can go HP percentage if he's dying. Kind of like when you're building a Godseeker or Neri, how you used to build the Godseeker or Neri for a Sand Devil run. Defense is important, right? Some players make the mistake of just going all out HP percentage on the chest, HP percentage on the gauntlets, and it does make sense because they're healing based obviously on their HP, on a regen and a moral set, but you don't want to totally neglect defense, right? So the stats that I have in today's video are going to be 60k HP and 5600 on the defense. There is some wiggle room there. I've seen people with 100k HP and 4,500 or 4,000 on the defense, right? So there are not set parameters here in terms of stats for every area that can blanket cover everything in the game. We have 250 speed, and then we have resistance and accuracy. So 339 is going to be enough accuracy to get us through any of the content that we're going to be clearing in today's video. And 484, obviously resist going to be important in a lot of areas for Drexthar Bloodtwin. So I already showed you the defense percentage. The defense percentage, that could be HP percentage. I went speed on the boots. I went resistance on the banner. I went defense on the amulet, and I went HP on the blood shield ring. So that is the build. Regeneration, immortal gear, blood shield ring if you have it, and build some resistance on there. Try to get by with as much resistance. For end game, we're looking at like close to 500, 450, and on accuracy looking for 300 plus kind of for end game content. All right, guys. Let's take him in. So I actually want to start in Cur City, some newer content here. And I saw in Cintranos, this rotation, he's just a monster. He can solo almost every boss and double boss in the entire rotation, which is insane on hard difficulty. This is hard Iron Twins. Threw in some food in there with him. And let's see him solo the Iron Twin. Solo the Iron Twin. There he goes, just healing himself, resisting everything, burning on the passive, dropping some brimstone on him, and he's gonna get the job done. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that.
I'm taking it slow. But it's not a big deal. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing.
It's so nice when you come up against a challenging boss, especially in Cur City, and you're like, oh God, I got to put the right team together. And the difficulty does scale a lot when you get to Soul Cross, right? Of Cintranos. And it's just so nice to be like, oh no, I'm just going to put Drexthar in there and he'll take care of everything. Then we'll progress, right? So I'm not going to show you the entirety of all these matches just because it gets a bit redundant and some of them take certainly longer than others. But you will see here, notably, he's not going to get close to dying against any of these bosses, right? So I'll come back at the end of this one, then we'll move on to the next one. I got like 5 battles or 6 battles in store for you guys. All right, guys, so there he goes, getting the job done. It only took him about I almost said an hour. It only took him an hour and 45 minutes. No big deal.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Took him a minute and 45 seconds. There we go. Let's go to the next one here, and I had him at D15. D15, where are you? Right here. Double boss. We got a double boss. We have him against Bommel and against the Ice Golem. Here we go. This is, again, Cintranos hard here. Nothing crazy. We don't have any special autos. We have nothing really special going on this champion regarding setups or anything like that, right? He just goes in there and he just kills everybody. He just stays alive, burns off the passive. All he has to do is get hit here. Actually, I will say that his HP did get a little low there on that one shot from Bommel, or the bomb is exploding there. But we're good. We're good. The nice thing, too, about anything in Soul Cross is for all the redundancy of, not Soul Cross, Cintranos, for all the redundancy of Cintranos, you still got to appreciate there's no resources involved, right? There's no like energy cost or anything like that. So it's nice, especially with all the silver you have to pay to swap around artifacts. It is really nice to be able to go in there and not at least have to burn all your energy too, trying to formulate the perfect team. So here he's taking on, again, I mean, it's pretty impressive. He has dropped a little bit low a couple times, but taking down Bommel at the same time as he takes down with a farmable free legendary here. I think he's a pretty impressive dude. And hopefully, the reason I wanted to start here with Cintranos is because I wanted to start with, you know, again, like basically backing up the claim that he's still the GOAT. He's still the solo monster. He can still help out so many players even after Euros' Soul Cage and other viable solo strategies have come out inside the game. So there he goes, getting the job done against the double boss. Took him an hour and 26 minutes. And let's go into the, I had one more here. Let's see. Yes, it was P5 against Sorath. So Sorath, obviously, he can solo the very most difficult final boss, Sorath from Doom Tower, but I'm not on that rotation right now, so I can't show you it, but I can show you it here, right? So very, very solid here. It will be helpful to you guys as well that for stage 120 hard, he would need 500 accuracy or somebody else on the team with increased accuracy. So I do want to be clear as we battle the Frost Spider here. I did say earlier that this is going to be enough accuracy for the content that we're tackling today. But if we do want to use him against floor 120 Doom Tower, we're going to need to bump that accuracy up to 500, okay? Very important there. Otherwise, you're just going to fail. So go with the accuracy, even if you have to, you know, change out a little bit of the gear, you know, sacrifice a little bit of the defense or whatever, needs the accuracy, obviously, to land that HP burn. You can see he's doing a good job resisting here, and that burn is landing basically every time, whether through the passive or whether through that A1. Keep in mind that passive is a 75% land rate, not 100%. So there it is. That's the Frost Spider, another boss taken down by Drexthar Bloodtwin. All right, guys, so there it is. Sorath down. Let's go ahead and move on over to good old Ice Golem. Now, there's a lot of areas you can use this dude that I'm not mentioning in today's video as well. I mean, heck, you could use him as a spider burner, right? There's so many different ways you could use him. You could use him in wave content. You can use him in wave content as a provoker damage dealer, right? So there's a lot of utility even outside what I'm showing you guys today that you can get from him. This is stage 7 hard of Ice Golem hard.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I think it will hit me like in 5 years.
We're always going to go against Magic Affinity if we can, right? Obviously. So let's turn on those super rates, put in the food, and start farming. I'll come to you guys when we actually get to the Ice Golem here. All right, guys, here we go. It took us 3 minutes to get to the actual Ice Golem. Now, can we stay alive and finish him off here on stage 7 hard? That's the question. I want to be transparent with you guys. I only ran this a few times. He did succeed every time, but he did get a little bit lower. Again, emergency heal can help us out here, but it looks like so far, so good. He's resisting everything. He's counterattacking. He's healing himself. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage. Once those guards go down, I'll feel a heck of a lot better about this run, but things are looking really smooth so far, man. And you know what, guys? You can easily pair him with really anybody, like a burn activator, for example, maybe an Artak, to actually clear through those waves a lot faster and really speed this run up and still farm food. Yeah, I feel like we talked about this a lot recently here on the channel, but utilizing these solo strategies, it's not just for the fun of it to watch a champion solo a boss, especially in a dungeon format. It's so that you can farm, you know, your food and level up your champions alongside, you know, farming these dungeons and triple dipping for the events and tournaments at the same time, right? It's really about maximizing your efficiency inside the game. And clearly this is going to be an absolute breeze for Drexthar here. Who am I kidding? It's not even close at all. It's never been close. So there we go. I mean, it's going to take 5 minutes, but we can absolutely speed that up as well. Man, are you convinced you should go for this dude? Yeah, I imagine most of you guys already have him watching, right? He's an old school champion, and he's almost got the job done. I was going to cut and be like, I'll come back at the end, but he's almost done already. He makes quick work of the actual Ice Golem himself. Just a matter of the waves, right? So there he goes. Nice job, Drexthar. I would show you Reflex with speed, but it's only a 5-star. We'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of it, even though I would encourage most players to level that up. Anyway, or to see if they get the speed rolls, excuse me, roll that up. So there he goes. Not that like you need to see the stats. He's the only one doing anything, but there you go. Some of you guys are like, you didn't show me the stats, Ash. You didn't show us the stats. Sorry, bro. He did 10 million damage. There you go. All right, So here we go. Let's go to, I should probably just note here again, I think I already mentioned it, but this works for stage 7. It works for stage 3 as well if you can't quite get to 7. So there's, you know, other stages. Magic Affinity is the big thing, right? All right, let's go to where he's known for on this rotation of Doom Tower, and it is the Scarab King. And I lied. We do have Soroth in this rotation, but I'm just not there at the top yet. I'm like, hey, how am I showing them Scarab King if I said that we're not in the rotation for the Ice Spider? But you guys heard me before. 500 accuracy is all you need in the resist like you have on right now. Now, on this run, I did throw a Trunda in there for damage just to get us through the waves, so I'm not here all day. But this is Scarab King 100. It's kind of the OG solo for Drexthar Bloodtwin, at least the kind of OG after Doom Tower was introduced to the game. I remember when Doom Tower was introduced to the game and it was like, oh, Drexthar kind of beats almost every boss all on his own, right? I'll come back to you guys when we actually get to the boss here. Actually, I'll stay with you guys. Who cares, right? I wanted to pull him up on hellhades.com. They give him a 4.5 rating. That's a high rating, man. I love it. I support it, obviously. What else can he solo? Spider. We talked about his utility in Spider. Hydra, they give him a 5 out of 5 in Hydra. See, I wouldn't go that high in Hydra, but he does have the provoke. He has survivability. He's got the burn, you know. Doom Tower wave content. Ice Golem hard, a 4.5. Let's see. Scarab King 3. Scarab King 3. Come on, man. I'd give him a 5 as Scarab King. Frost Spider 5. Eternal Dragon 5. Nether Spider 5. Look at all that content. Celestial Griffin 4. Look at all the content that you could use this dude on, right? It's really insane that this champion, this one legendary, has this much utility in so many different areas of the game and can lead you to be more efficient in your energy and whatnot, like we spoke about earlier. Guys, this unfortunately is a long run. It's like a 9 to 11 minute run. So I will come back to you guys at the end of this one. Be right back. All right, guys, so there we go. Drexthar Bloodtwin getting the job done for 100. Scarab King hard. I never said it was going to be a fast run. I just said it was going to be a successful run. And there he is, the jack of all trades, the solo master, the free solo master.
Was that necessary?
In Raid Shadow Legends, guys. I thought it'd be fun to revisit this legendary champion that you can all have access to. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hey, if there's another champion out there that you rely on to solo content in the game that you have not seen a guide out there for YouTube, go ahead and let me know. I'll either bring it here or on my Raid Champion Guide channel. Speaking of solos, why don't you take a look at the top 10 solo champions in the game? You can see that video right now in the recommendation right about there. As always, take care, guys.